$562, as proposed by the Finance Committee of the school.
Madam Vice Chair, you just need to say the dollar amount again. That was $206 million.
Oh, I apologize. We're off a little.
No worries, no worries.
I apologize. It's a small budget, Mayor. Thank you for clarifying. That's why I'm going to the 562. $206,317,562, as proposed by the Finance Committee of the School Committee, and recommend that the mayor consider this funding request in his preparation of the City of Brockton FY23 Mayor's recommended city budget. I have that, and then
That's the form of a motion.
that's a form of a motion for
Is
that
there a
one.
second on that motion from the Vice Chairman? I'll give Mrs. Ehlers credit for that one, Mr. Rodriguez. So a motion was made by Vice Chairman Azak, properly seconded by Mrs. Ehlers. I will read the roll because there has been a proper second on that motion. Mrs. Sullivan? Yes. Mrs. Ehlers?
Yes.
Mrs. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Azak?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
And the chair is here and says yes as well. That does pass. Just point of information, Mr. Homer unfortunately wasn't able to join us tonight, but I wanted the minutes to reflect that Jared Homer is watching this on TV. Thank you.
Thank you. And further, I would also like to entertain a motion to approve this FY23 non-net school spending budget request of $12,145,147, as proposed by the Finance Committee of the School Committee, and recommend that the mayor consider this funding request in his preparation of the City of Brockton FY23 Mayor's recommended city budget.
Form of a motion. Is there a second on that motion, please?
Second.
Mr. Rodriguez made the second. It was properly seconded by Mr. Rodriguez. Original motion was made by Ms. Azak. I'll read the roll on that, please. Mrs. Sullivan? Yes. Mrs. Ehlers?
Yes.
Mrs. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Azak?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
And Chair says yes as well. It passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vice Chairman. Again, we'll just read into the record again. Net school spending budget request that has been approved unanimously by the school committee meeting under this special meeting is $206,317,562. And then the second motion, which was approved unanimously by the special school committee member meetings, was the non-net school spending budget request, and that's in the dollar amount of $12,145,147, and it has been passed, and the minutes will reflect that as well. Agenda 3, I got to read the following into the minutes if I could. School committee will go into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, MGL, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions and preparations for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, Deputy Superintendent, and Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares. Brockton Education Association, the BEA, Brockton Education Support Personnel Association, BESPA. I do need to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Motion to go into executive session?
Is there a second? Thank you. Mrs. Mendez made the motion, properly seconded by Mr. Rodriguez. I'll read the roll, please. Mrs. Sullivan? Yes. Mrs. Ehlers?
Yes.
Mrs. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Azak?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
And the chair says yes. We will go into executive session. I do want the minutes to reflect we will be coming back into to open session once we get out of adjourn the executive session. So we will be back. Thank you. I hereby call the special school committee meeting back into order. We were in executive session. We are back now live in full session. Number 4 on the agenda is discussion and potential vote from the executive session. Is there any discussion relative to the matters that were discussed? At this time, if there's no discussion, we can entertain a vote pertaining to the creation of the positions that were discussed. And the reorganization positions that we discussed. Again, following the advice of Superintendent of Schools, it is more than appropriate to entertain that vote of the school committee under this special. Is there a motion relative to the reorganization, relative to the department?
I'll make the motion to reorganize
the school committee, the school department, as we discussed, in the central office, as we discussed tonight.
Following the suggestions of superintendents?
Yes,
Okay, all right.
100% following.
Okay, so motion was made by Mr. Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Sullivan. We will do a roll call. Mrs. Sullivan?
Yes.
Oh, first of all, I'm sorry, before we do roll call, any questions or any comments on the motions? None? Okay. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ayers?
Yes.
Mrs. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Azak?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes,
And the chair says yes as well, so that does pass. And remember, we are down one less one because Jared Holman wasn't to join us, but it is unanimous vote of those present tonight. Number 5 on the agenda is other business. Is there any other business matters before us this evening? None? Number 6 is adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mrs. Mendez, she jumped on that one. That was good. Motion was made by Mrs. Mendez, properly
And loud.
seconded by Mrs. Azak. I'll read the roll again. Mrs. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ayers?
Yes.
Mrs. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Azak?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
yes.
I say yes as well. Have a good night. Drive careful. Thank you.